Hi guys, it's Josh Lloyd here for your NBA DraftKings first look for Tuesday across the NBA. Not a super busy day, 6 games on. There is a chance that there is a rescheduling of the Nets and Timberwolves game, but nothing's official at this point, so we're not going to really cover that here because we just don't know, and it's not in the DraftKings slate at this stage, but just be aware that that game might be added, even though it won't be in this DraftKings slate, even though there might be some showdowns for it. But let's talk about these games. Hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up as well, leave your comments as the video is going on. Let's take a look. First game. The Clippers going to Indiana to take on the Pacers. There is no spread or total out at this point, but Kawhi Leonard is out for the Clippers, so that obviously opens up a pretty big hole. He missed the last game for them as well. Miles Turner is out for Indiana. I am pretty interested in Marcus Morris here. $5,000 for Morris is a really solid price for a guy that is putting up good numbers at the moment. Look, he's averaging... he's 45 last game, 21, 22 the last 3 games, a 32-pointer in there. He is averaging, if I just bring it up, 29 over the last 3, which at 5,000 is absolutely fine. And no Kawhi helps. Ivica Zubac will be the starting center with no Serge Ibaka. He's out again. 5,200 for Zubac looks all right. And I like 87 for Paul George. He is going to get an absolute shit ton of shots without Kawhi there. On the other side of things, Levert's at 7,500. I'm always skeptical about his shooting numbers, and that can always torpedo his value, but 75 is not bad. I like Brogdon quite a bit at 6,700. That works out pretty solidly for me, and sub 9,000 Domantas Sabonis is always something I'm going to be interested in. Sabonis dropped 53 in the last game. Sub 9,000 is pretty strong. I like 5,400 for Reggie Jackson as well, who'll be the starting point guard without Patrick Beverley. So there is, I think, quite a bit of value in this matchup in general. The next one's quite interesting, and that's the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Toronto Raptors, because at this point, we don't know whether Trae Young is going to play. Now, last game without Trae Young, Brandon Goodwin stepped up and had a really big game, but at this stage, we just don't know whether he is going to be out there, and that's going to complicate things, quite obviously. We also have Danilo Gallinari is doubtful, John Collins is out, DeAndre Hunter is out, Tony Snell is out, Chris Dunn is out. Fred VanVleet is out for Toronto. So a few opportunities opening up here. Lowry's at 7,400. His first game back from his toe issue, played 37 minutes. He had 41 DraftKings points. Good defensive matchup as well for Lowry here, so I like it. Trae Young's at 9,100. I'd be pretty hesitant to use him just given the fact that he's questionable, and I just don't know if he's going to go at full tilt. I like Capella, though. I feel like Capella at 8,500. He's going to get 40 almost as a minimum. With Collins out, they're playing him a lot more minutes. This is a great opportunity for him. And if Trae Young is out, I'll fire up Kevin Huerter. Now, 5,300 for Huerter is okay. Now, last game he wasn't particularly good, couldn't hit shots, but had 7 assists and had 23 DraftKings points. I think he's got that 30-point upside here without Young. And if Young is out, Bogdanovic becomes an excellent option. He's going to get a ton of shots, a ton of minutes. He had 48 in 41 minutes last game without Trae Young. Siakam's at 86, probably feels too high for me. Well, Gary Trent, well, it's just always a roller coaster with Gaz, isn't it? He's up to 6,000. I wouldn't feel comfortable about using Gary Trent. Now, he can drop 60. We saw that. Actually, that's not true. He dropped 63 one game. He can't drop 60 regularly. That was a once-in-a-lifetime type performance. I think 6,000 is too high for Trent. I think 7,100 for OG Anunoby is probably also a little bit too high. While Boucher's at 6,900, yes, he is averaging 47 points over the last 3 games. I remain skeptical about Boucher's minutes with Birch there. Do they go 24-24 split? Last game it was 30-18 split. But with Anunoby back, they could play Siakam at center a little bit more. I would be highly skeptical about using Boucher at that price tag, which is approaching $7,000, which is not anything to sneeze at, I don't think. The next one we look at is the Lakers and the Hornets. This is a back-to-back for the Lakers. They were beaten by the Knicks on Monday. This is a pick'em, this game. Total of 208.5, which is obviously pretty low. Jalen McDaniels wasn't particularly good last game, but I thought he was okay. 4,300 for McDaniels. He can get you 20, like almost as a minimum score. So I really like that. I like Devontae Graham a little bit as well at 6,300. I wouldn't say it's one of the best plays out there, but it's not bad. While Andre Drummond's at 67, probably more of just of a tournament option. He has had a pretty good record in the past against Charlotte, though, so bear that in mind, averaging 47 the last 3 times out against Cody Zeller and co. PJ Washington hurt his ankle last game, but he's probable. While Kuzma and Wes Matthews both played on Monday after missing the game prior to that. Kuzma's at 68. I don't like that. Horton Tucker's at 53, and with Kuzma and Matthews back, his minutes are dropping down, so I'm not particularly in on that. I do like Markieff Morris. I like Marcus Morris. I also like Markieff Morris at 5,000, who's playing a pretty high-level role for the Lakers. 8,200 for Rozier also feels like it's a bit too high, in my opinion. Wouldn't want to use Harrell either with the fact that I think the Lakers might run a few more 3-center lineups or 3-center rotation instead of just the 2 Drummond and Harrell type scenarios. Next game, we look at the Utah Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Real blowout risk here. In fact, Vegas has it as the Jazz 17-point favorites. That is huge, even though it is a back-to-back for Utah. Total's 223. Alexei Pokusevski is out. You'd have to imagine they won't rush Jordan Clarkson back to Jazz. Isaiah Roby is out. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out. Josh Hall is out. But Mike Conley should return after resting on Monday. Tony Bradley going up against his former team. He's at $4,000. We have to like what Bradley's been doing. I wouldn't say that I am 100% in on it, but 27 average over the last 5 in 22 minutes at 4,000. Why not? Rudy Gobert at 8,000. Yeah, looks all right. The blowout is going to be the risk. And then Darius Bazley, who, let's be honest, has been terrible all season. And then first game back from a shoulder injury, just drops a casual 35 DraftKings points, which at 5,500 is obviously great value. Do I believe that he is going to be dropping, you're shooting 75% from 3 and getting 5 assists every game as he did in that one? No, absolutely not. But I still think that there is some value in using Bazley as a GPP option. Don Mitchell's at 94. I reckon that's pushing a little bit too high in a game that might be a blowout. Maladon at 56, also probably too high, and Conley at 69. I imagine the Jazz are just going to really ease up in this one. They won't need to go super hard and have this one wrapped up at the end of the third quarter would be my guess. Portland and Boston. That's the next game we're taking a look at. Evan Fournier is out once again for the Celtics. Rob Williams is at 6,000. Now, Williams did close the game over Tristan Thompson last game and played pretty strong minutes. I'm finding it a little bit tough to get excited about $6,000 though for him. That feels too high. While Yusuf Nurkic, even though he's been limited, he's still producing enough value at 5,300 to use him. He's averaging 26 points over the last 5 games in just 21 minutes. He has an alleged restriction of 25 in the last game and then had that sacral contusion, which cost him a couple of those minutes. But if he plays 25 here, I think he can get 30 points. And that's value to me. And I don't think many people will use Yusuf. Kemba's at 66. I'm not massively into that. Well, Lillard's really farting in our mouths at the moment, isn't he? 34 points over the last 5. Can't hit shots. Usage is down. That's a strong no from me. I do like Jaylen Brown at 7,800. That looks to me to be pretty good. And then you go to someone like Tatum at 92, who also feels pretty strong, especially if he gets any matchups against Carmelo Anthony. He will drop another 50 most likely. Bob Covington's at 62. No thank you. And 81 for CJ McCollum feels just a little bit too high. Same as the 61 for Kanter, because he will be in a limited role with Nurkic likely playing and starting and hopefully pushing to 25 minutes. The last game of the night is another one involving a back-to-back, the Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns. The Suns played Monday. The Suns are 3-point favorites, and the total is 215 here. Kendrick Nunn should get another start for Miami with Victor Oladipo out, and out for a long time, it appears. I like Kendrick Nunn at 4,400 here. I like Adebayo somewhat at 8,400. I'm not 100% in on it, but I am okay with that. Well, DeAndre Ayton last time against Bam had a really big game, and he's at 6,800. And do I go back again? I think at 6,800 we have to at least consider that. I like Jim Butler at 9,300. There is value in that one, I think. I'd be a little bit hesitant about using Chris Paul on a back-to-back at 83, and Booker at 9,000 might be pushing somewhat, just a little bit too high for me. Tyler Hero comes in at 5,500. I think that's not a bad spot without Oladipo. He should play 30 minutes and be a relatively solid cash game play at that sort of number. In terms of across the whole slate, I really like Marcus Morris and Markieff Morris, Zubats, Lowry, Jalen McDaniels, Paul George, Tone Bradley, Graham, Capella, Gobert, Nurkic, Kendrick Nunn, Bazley a little bit, Schroeder, who I didn't really mention, but he's not bad at a price, Jaylen Brown, Kevin Huerter, Bogdan Bogdanovic, maybe Andre Drummond, Bam Adebayo, and maybe Norman Powell. That'll do it for today for that preview of Tuesday's action. Don't forget, hit the notification bell on your way out. Hit the thumbs up on your way out as well. Leave your comments down below, and you can check out my channel as well. It's linked in the description and in the title, Josh Lloyd Fantasy Basketball. So go and follow me over there and check out all the stuff that I do too. Guys, thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.